I think that I was blocked by the person who I had been seeing.
So my boyfriend of 8 months, almost a year, and we've known each other for a year now, straight up ghosted me. We had a really loving relationship. Okay, so I'm freaking pissed. So fun little story time, here we go. So my boyfriend of 8 months, almost a year, and we've known each other for a year now, straight up ghosted me. We had a really loving relationship. It was really affectionate, really vulnerable. We told each other how much we loved each other every single day. We were best friends, like, especially before we started dating, we were friends. And he told me all the time, like, how much he wanted to marry me one day, how amazing I am, how I'm the most beautiful girl that he's ever seen. Okay, so I invite him on my family vacation. Mind you, I haven't been on a full family vacation since, like, way long ago. Not just, like, an immediate family vacation, like uncles, grandparents, cousins. So we spend, like, almost 2 weeks in Hawaii together. All paid for, by the way. He didn't pay for any of it, which was fine because, like, we were treating him and, like, that's what we do. So we get back from vacation together. By the way, he said it was the best vacation he's ever been on in his life and that he wants to, like, move to Hawaii and he loves it. And we spend, like, 3 days together since coming back to LA where I live. We have a really fun 3 days, good time. So I leave his house and we're texting. So he goes and applies for this job interview. I'm asking him how it's going and all this stuff. He's texting me, whatever. And then the rest of the night, he just, like, stops texting me. And I'm just like, okay, like, he's just with his friends or something, like, whatever. And then the next day rolls around. I still haven't heard anything. I'm like, what the fuck? Mind you, too, he texts me all the time. Like, that's the precedent that he set in the beginning of our relationship. We talk all the time. 2 more days go by. Nothing. Obviously, I'm texting him this whole time being like, hey, you good? I had to literally DM his brother to see if he was alive. I have anxiety, okay? I thought this man's was, like, dead in a ditch somewhere. I was freaking out. His brother's like, oh, yeah, no, he's cool. Like, the last time we spoke, like, weeks ago, he said you guys were great and happy and this and that. So I'm like, okay, cool. After, like, my 4th text to him or something, he responds with, like, a long-ass paragraph. He sent this long-ass thing, like, explaining himself. And he was like, oh, my God, you don't deserve any of this. I love you. Like, I've been going through things, but you don't deserve this at all. Like, I'm so sorry. So we're in the middle of this conversation, right? And then he just ghosts me again. Full-on ghost. His Snap score is going up. Obviously, I'm checking. Like, the fuck? And I know he's, like, playing poker with his friends. And he, like, went to a basketball game today. So, yeah, I'm honestly at a loss because I literally never would have seen this coming from him. And as shitty as he sounds right now, I know for a fact he didn't cheat on me because he's just, like, not that type. Like, I promise y'all. But, yeah, shit makes no sense, and I'm pissed. So, I'm either going to break up with him or I'll update you guys. If this has happened to you, I'm so sorry. This shit sucks. I'll post a part 2 so you guys know what's going on.
According to what she's saying, I believe this man decided to go on the trip even though he planned on breaking up with her before the trip. But he didn't want to let go of that free Hawaii trip, which we all know trips to Hawaii are really, really expensive. So even I wouldn't pass that down. Even if I knew that we were not on good terms and I was getting ready to break up with you, planning it in my head and everything, I'll still go on the trip. Why not? And then he continued to message her maybe a day or 2 after the trip just to kind of, you know, save face, because how are you going to break up with her as soon as you reach back home, you know? So he was saving face and just messaging her, giving her little breadcrumbs here and there, and then just completely disappear. I mean, at first when she was telling the story, I thought maybe this man was a crackhead, because you just ghost out of nowhere in the middle of texting. You know, I've actually done that before. But yeah, and I've even went on a trip with someone before, and then as soon as I got back from the trip, literally the next day I stopped talking to them because something happened on the trip. But it wasn't because of...
I think that I was blocked by the person who I had been seeing. Like, my messages are not going through. I, like, sent a text last night saying goodnight, and I normally get something back, and I didn't. And I tried to send a message this morning, like, it's not going through, but it goes through to all my other friends. Like, why does this keep happening? And I know that this isn't, like, a me thing. Literally makes me so sick.
My boyfriend ghosted me for 2 months. Our mutual friend set us up, and we all met at Culver's. Mind you, this was my going into junior year of high school. 2 of my girlfriends, Bryce, and 2 of his guy friends. Remember what I was wearing? I had like a tube top on with like a zip up, maybe jean shorts. I was trying so hard, and mind you, we were literally at Culver's. I'm a yapper, Bryce is not. I say we didn't talk the entire time. We literally didn't talk. Bryce didn't really say anything, and I didn't really get to know him, and he didn't get to know me. So I was like, oh my god, he was so cute, but I don't know, he's kind of quiet. Come to find out, he thought I was a psycho. Never heard from him, never had a follow-up. Literally didn't talk again until the school year. I told my mutual friend I'm not reaching out to him. Like, if he wants to reach out, he can. I will never forget when I first got a Snapchat from him. I knew exactly where I was. I was at work. The rest is history. But he did fully ghost me for months because I literally didn't hear from him at all. A couple years later, he was like, yeah, I literally thought you were a psycho.
I just grabbed this one to kind of give an update since being ghosted. I am in disbelief at the amount of people who have said that they were full on dating someone and got ghosted. Next is, yes, I was seeing this person exclusively for 3 months. Did we have the titles? No, we didn't have the titles. I now understand why. Looking back, I can see the red flags and I'm like, oh, those things that I was so understanding about because we had talked about it as adults, that, oh, those are actually red flags and you were straight up lying to me and I believed you. And I'm well aware. That makes me a clown. You know what? Y'all in the comments have made that very clear that, well, you must have done something. Like, there's a reason why this happens to you. How about the fact that this has now become so normal in dating? I understand if you go on one date and it just, you just don't feel the vibe, you have 2 options. One, you could just like never reach out again. I don't really think that's ghosting. I think what ghosting is when you are like actively talking to someone and you're seeing them and suddenly you never hear from them again, like they cut off all communication. 2 is you can actually just say, you know what? Hey, I'm just like not feeling it. And you can communicate that. Here's what you have to understand about me from those who are in the comments being like, this, I can see why this happened to you. Kenya. I am honestly one of the most understanding people. Like, I talk to people who I am seeing about these things and be like, you know what? Listen, if there's ever a point that you're just like not feeling it, please tell me. I'd much rather you tell me, you know what? Listen, I'm just not feeling it. Cool. Let's move on. Straight up ghosting is childish. And personally, I have been in therapy for the past 5 years. And I've really worked on my personal things. And I feel like in this dating world, I come to these situations where I'm like asking them like, okay, like, what has your healing journey been? And they have all the right answers. But then when it actually starts to unfold, you see that it's like, oh, you didn't totally do the work. Anyways, this is the update. It's honestly done and over at this point. It's whatever. It's just more of, be a freaking good human and just communicate. Like, it's not, maybe it is hard. Like, if you can't do it verbally, just send the text.
Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. So today we're talking about boyfriends who are basically ghosting their girlfriends after months of dating. They just poof out of nowhere, just disappear, and you never hear from them again. I mean, you would think they were taken out of this world, but no. Yeah, so let's figure out what's going on with these situations.
My boyfriend ghosts me whenever he tells me to come to his place. Story time. I mean, this guy would literally wait for her to be on the road before he ghosts her. I'm a 23 years old young lady who has never been lucky in relationships. When I say not lucky, I mean I have always been the side chick in all my relationships. I met this guy about 2 months ago and we've always been talking via text and calls. We never met in person. This guy stays in Ijebu and I left my house all the way down there to see him. Before I left my house, we spoke, but when I got to Ijebu, I called this guy repeatedly and his number was not going through, it was switched off. I sent him series of text messages, he was not replying because he was not online, knowing fully well that someone was coming to see you, your supposed girlfriend. Thank God that I have friends that stay there, so I had to go over to my friend's place to sleep and spend the night. He later called at night to apologize and tell me that his phone was off. We became cool. This guy did not even tell you that you could come or he would come and pick you wherever it is you were sleeping or something like that. Anyway, we became cool and not long after that time, he invited me over again. Like, he texted me himself, and the same thing happened. They say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. After the same thing happened, this guy apologized again, and well, I just smiled and I forgave him. Then the third time, this guy invited me again. You safe, are you not loved at home? You're desperate to be with a man. Anyways, the third time I went and he was actually around. Thank God Baba did not ghost you this time. We saw, and this guy was actually a very cool person. I did not even believe he could do something like that. I was wondering why he did all of those things if he's such a cool person. Lest I forget, this guy is a very jealous person. He doesn't want to see me with any friends, be it female or males. And he specifically made it clear to me that I cannot be friends with his friends. He doesn't even want to see me smiling or opening teeth with his friends. Plus, this guy just blocks me for no reason. Now, yesterday, he blocked me because I was asking him how he was feeling. Like, how do you block someone who is just showing concern for you? Apparently, he's feeling sick at the moment, so I was checking up on him and asking how he was feeling. And before I knew it, Baba Tisha mean blocking. Do you all think I might be dating a ghost? Well, if your instincts are telling you that, then maybe. Anyway, I am also a side chick to another guy. These people will not kill me. You know when you're a side chick and you assume your position and you sit on it with your crown on your head. This other guy gives me whatever it is I want, but you know, I just want to have my own personal relationship. Oh, a queen and more. Do you think I should stay with my boyfriend that ghosts me, or I should remain the side chick that I am, JJ? I really need advice because I believe that his previous relationship made him this way. Before I drop my opinion, to drop your stories for me, go on my Instagram at justprobna, the same name I use here, and drop your stories. Please don't exchange pleasantries, just write your story. Now, auntie, if his previous relationship made him like that, you are not a doctor. Let him heal on his own. Find your love to the front.
You know why he did that? Because it was easy. He wanted to know how easy it was going to be for you to deliver that box to him for free. And 9 times out of 10, it's probably because he had a bet with one of his little boy guy friends, and he wanted to see whether or not he was going to be able to convince you to just drive over to him at nighttime to deliver the box for free without him having to put in any work. And the fact that he did not have to put in any work and you willingly decided to deliver the box to him for free at nighttime, which is completely so bad, just so bad, so bad. Because if you're going to give it to him for free, the least he could do is come and take it. You know what I mean? Come to the house. Why do I have to drive to you and bring it to you? And then on top of that, you ghost me? Oh, the embarrassment.
Sister, if you think you've been ghosted, so one time my girlfriend Vanessa, she went on a trip with her boyfriend to Miami. At this point, they had no worries, like,